The rain hammered down on the cracked asphalt of Elm Street like an unrelenting drumbeat, turning the gutters into miniature rivers that swirled with discarded leaves and forgotten debris. Lucas Harper pulled his worn leather jacket tighter around his shoulders, the chill seeping through the fabric despite his best efforts. At 38, he carried the weight of the world on his broad but weary frame. Years of manual labor at the auto shop had etched lines into his face that no amount of sleep could erase. His boots splashed through puddles as he trudged home from his 12-hour shift, the faint scent of motor oil clinging to his skin like a second shadow. In one hand, he gripped a crumpled paper bag from the corner store, a box of off-brand macaroni and cheese, a half-gallon of milk, and a single bruised apple. It wasn't gourmet, but it would feed him and his daughter, Mia, for the night. Mia, the bright spot in his otherwise grayscale life. 6 years old, with her mother's curly hair and his stubborn streak, she was the reason he pushed through the exhaustion every day. The streetlights flickered on as dusk settled in, casting long, wavering shadows that danced with the rain. Elm Street wasn't the safest neighborhood in Milford. Graffiti-tagged walls and boarded-up windows told stories of better days long gone. Lucas had grown up here, back when the mills were still running and families filled the row houses with laughter. Now, it was a place where dreams came to die, but it was home. He quickened his pace, eager to get back to the small 2-bedroom apartment where Mia waited with Mrs. Carter, the elderly neighbor who babysat for a few bucks an hour. Mrs. Carter was a godsend, though her arthritis made her slower than she'd like to admit. Lucas's mind wandered to the bills piling up on the kitchen table. Rent was due in a week, and the electricity company had sent another warning. He'd pick up extra shifts if he could, but the shop was slow this time of year. A sound pierced the rhythmic patter of the rain, a soft, muffled sob that seemed to echo from the narrow alley between the old bakery and the pawn shop. Lucas paused, his heart skipping a beat. It could be nothing, he told himself, a stray cat, or maybe the wind whistling through a broken window. But the sob came again, higher pitched this time, laced with a desperation that tugged at something deep inside him. He glanced around. The street was empty, save for a lone car splashing past in the distance. Against his better judgment, he stepped toward the alley, the groceries shifting in his grip. The dim light from the street barely penetrated the shadows, but as his eyes adjusted, he saw her, a small figure huddled against the rusted dumpster, knees drawn to her chest, arms wrapped tightly around them. She couldn't have been more than 7 or 8, her dark hair matted to her scalp by the rain, her thin pink jacket soaked through and clinging to her shivering body. Lucas's breath caught eye.